Hello, welcome to Fulsham Iron, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we got a few things we want to get off of our chest, but before we get into that, please don't forget to like, comment on, and share the stream. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and make sure you hit that bell icon, and you will get alerts to your mobile device for any new content as and when it is uploaded to the channel. And as always, we thank you very much indeed for your support. And obviously, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, he is there. He is shaking his head very disapprovingly of West Ham's 2-0 defeat at the Brentford Community Stadium. And I suspect he has much that he wants to get off his chest. Duke, the floor is yours.
You know what? I'm still so angry that I didn't even pick up on you calling it a balala icon when you started there. Did you know? A balala icon. Mate. What was that?
Do you want me shall I keep it clean, Mr. Singleton?
Well,
Hope you well.
We have to because there's a young lad in the chat.
Yes,
so
yes,
we
there
have
is.
to be like as best as I can.
Oh, how could I best describe yesterday? Lethargic, flat, disappointing, lacking in invention, lacking in just invention, ingenuity, pace, heart, battle, determination, desire. Do you want to carry on, or have I got?
No. I think you've nailed it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just I got
I'm
no.
gonna call it the old West Ham.
Yeah,
it was flat.
Don't like it.
It was awful. I mean, I can't even blame the injury to Zoom because we didn't even look great before he went off.
Yeah, it didn't help, but
I mean, it gives me major concerns for Thursday. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I've seen people trying to moan about certain players and how other players shouldn't be put in the same bracket because they never play, and how can one player get away with not performing yet this player does this or that player does that? We know what.
It's not a willy waving contest, is it?
Then it's not. Listen, every single player yesterday was turd.
Yeah,
absolute turd. Brew there says Antonio. Antonio isn't shocking. Yesterday, Antonio was shocking. But then I also blame the fact that what do you expect him to do when he doesn't see a great deal of the ball? I mean, our back four were at points all over the gaff. Like, seriously, you teach, and I said this before
Mr.
on
Walsh.
a channel. I said this before on this channel. You don't turn your back on a player that's running towards you because he will quite easily change direction by the time you've turned around and gone the other way. So often I saw that yesterday. Good evening, James. I can't fathom just how much we backed off yesterday. I can't fathom just how much we defended worse than schoolboys yesterday. Like, we looked like a team that A, hadn't played together for quite a while, B, had only recently taken up football, and C, really didn't care less about what was going on yesterday afternoon. And I managed to watch the game. And
for you,
I had it up on one of the tellies. I shouldn't have done.
And in your bar in the south of France, yes?
In my bar in the south of France.
Yes.
And from kickoff, we looked completely disinterested. And for me, within the first 5 minutes, told me that exactly what the game was going to be like. I've got to say, it was shocking from start to finish.
Yeah, I can't disagree, and I'd love to be able to turn around and say anything the complete opposite of that, but I'd be completely being just disingenuous, and it was embarrassing. It really was embarrassing. You said about the West Ham of old. It was like just like I say, so flat and just lacking in everything that we've come to kind of take for granted in a David Moyes team, that they're going to be hardworking. They're gonna have a defensive strategy, a defensive shape. We're gonna hit teams on the counter. We're gonna make the most of our limited possession. We're gonna create an awful lot of chances. We're gonna get shots away on goal, and we're gonna get our rewards out of it. Nothing. I mean, we had. Well, I'll put the stats up later. One shot on target in 90 minutes against a team that, let's be completely fair. Now, they've just done the double over us. Fair play. I can't, we can sit here and we can moan about the game at the London Stadium, about their tactics and this, that, and the other. But truth of the matter is that they've got to employ whatever tactics they've got to employ to maximise their chances of winning a game. It's incumbent upon us, especially when we're the home team and we're the established Premier League team and they're the new boys to the Premier League. It's incumbent upon us to find a strategy to negate their strengths and maximize their weaknesses.
Yeah,
that's the name of the game, right? We couldn't do that at the London Stadium. We was a million miles away from it yesterday as well. And I've got no complaints with the result. I've got a hell of an awful lot of complaints about how the result came to pass. Now, saying about Antonio there, and I'm looking at it here on a tweet that I saw, and I actually retweeted on my own personal Twitter page, and it was from a gentleman. The handle was at Ramsden Mike, and he says Antonio didn't play well today. He looked knackered. When you look back, he has played 37 games so far this season. The last few seasons, he's played 26, 21, 25, 23, and 33. What do you expect? And he is playing as a lone striker. Give the guy a break. Now, exactly that. I don't actually blame the player himself so much as I blame David Moyes. And like I say, hands up, I am not one of these people that's a default David Moyes basher. I am actually, I think he's an excellent manager for a team of our stature. But be that as it may, that doesn't mean to say that I'm going to sit there and say everything he does is brilliant and he's infallible and all the rest of it. Antonio is our only recognised striker. And even he, there's debate, is he a striker? Well, he is, because he's been playing in that role for the last 18 months or so. So he is a striker. But we went into this season, he's got dodgy hamstrings. We knew that. He was talking about going to play for Jamaica. We've got European football, and 3 transfer windows have gone by, and we've not brought in someone to at least back him up, supplement him, replace him, whatever the case may be. And he's just been flogged to death. And yesterday you saw a player that was absolutely knackered. And I don't blame Antonio for that. I blame David Moyes. He's completely responsible for that situation to come to be.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm listening to what you're saying. I've got one eye on the comments, and Brew, as the next couple of comments down, has put on there, we can't keep using this knackered excuse. It really isn't an excuse, Brew. The players are on their arse, mate. Like they are literally. We have one of the smallest, if not the smallest, squad in the Premier League. We have no real backup.
That is true, Walshy.
Certain areas, we don't have a backup for a striker. We don't. There's no backup striker in that squad. With Ogbonna out, we have one backup centre back in this squad.
Yep.
We have 2 backup central defensive midfielders in Noble and Crowell, and Crowell doesn't get a look in, dependent on what the reasons. And then we have the guys, up top, and again, he doesn't really fancy Vlasic, he doesn't really fancy Ben Rama, so it leaves you with Fornells, Lanzini, Bowen, and then it leaves you with Antonio. This is an aging squad, as Kent says in the next comment. The squad isn't getting any younger. Moyes doesn't want to use the kids for whatever reason. Listen, it is what it is. But the players are knackered. I don't know what other excuse you want us to use or what you want to say. The players there are on their arse. They are absolutely shattered. We knew this. We didn't take precautions for this in January. We didn't take precautions for this back in August. And they're on their arse. That's all I've got for you. Brew, you say there we need 5 to 10 players next year. We needed 5. We needed 8 players this year.
Yeah,
I said this when we did our "You're the Manager" last season. Back in well, it's coming up.
I think you did it before that.
Yeah.
I think you did it right at the infancy of the channel. I think because you did it from your previous pub, the Bull, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did a stream and you sort of said we're going to need to bring in, was it 8 players or something like that? We weren't even close.
8 to 12 players for the season was what I said, and I even broke it down into I think I said we need a new keeper, we need a new left back, 2 more centre backs. I think I said we needed to bring in 2 central defensive midfielders because obviously we'd be able to rotate Souček and Rice in and out. I said we'd need at least 2 other strikers coming in. I did say I wanted one of them to be Karim Adeyemi. I remember that quite clearly. Mm-hmm. And then I needed basically what we need is we need 2 squads. We need 2 squads. There's no.
We've probably got 1.5.
Well, we probably haven't even got that, mate. We need 2 squads that are capable of competing at the same level in 4 different competitions. So whether you choose your Premier League team and your League Cup team, and you choose a Europa League team or your Europe team and your FA Cup team, wherever you want to work it, and you go full tilt with those fit players, bar injuries, and you go bash, and you take both of those competitions or all 4 of those competitions, seriously. Now, take a look at City Liverpool yesterday. There was an abundance of quality in that City side.
Yep.
That they can afford to put out at a level of 2 squads that can compete. That can compete. I'm not going to say that they're going to win things, okay? When you look at they got the young goalkeeper. They got the young goalkeeper. They got the other young striker that's just finally come through. I think they both played against us, didn't they, Rob? In the League Cup.
What's his name?
Was he the young American goalkeeper?
Zach Steffen. Yeah, Zach Steffen.
It.
I'm thinking, who's the guy who plays up top? Squad number 80.
Yeah.
His name will come to me. Someone in the chat will put it in there, and I'll go. That's the one.
Kent will be Bosch. Now, listen, City have the quality. These players, like I say, these players might not win the League Cup. I mean, hell, they went out to us on penalties. They might not win the FA Cup, but they're getting valuable experience of playing. And then he uses his proper side as such. In the
Cole Palmer.
That's the lad's name. I told you he'd be in. And then he uses this first team, if you will, which he has an abundance of talent. I mean, he left Mahrez on the bench yesterday and started with Gabriel Jesus and Sterling. And I'm sitting there going, "You've left Mahrez on the bench. Are you mad?" We're leaving Sonny Perkins or Nikola Vlasic on the bench, and these guys are nowhere near.
Yeah, but they are backed up by a country, in fairness, Duke.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that just shows you the difference of what we actually need to be able to compete. We need 2 squads. Now, whether you infuse some of the youngsters into if you infuse some of the youngsters into a squad that's going to compete in the, let's say, the League Cup and the FA Cup, so your 2 cups and your 2 whatever, then we need to go out and buy a new squad, essentially. Then, don't we? That's what we're looking at. We can't just say
that's not going to happen.
We don't just need 8 players. I'm not being funny. I look at it and I go, okay, so Fredericks is out of contract. Areola goes back to PSG. Noble's out of contract. Krell goes back. all of a sudden we've lost another 4. I already said we needed 8. So if we're losing 4 more, we now need 12. We now need 12. Noble's going 5. We now need 13.
And what if Declan Rice goes? Because that's not
20.
beyond the realms of possibility.
Right? We need to go out. These players are struggling right now.
That I agree with Walshy. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
mate, unbelievably so. But this is where someone needs to sit down with Moyes and say, look, boyo, I get it. But when Antonio, as you put it, Rob, is flogged like a dead horse at the minute up there, and he's playing like a dead horse up there at the minute, he's, I can't remember, I think Milesy said it. He had to be taken off before he was sent off because he was getting nothing out of the back 4 yesterday, out of their centre backs. So, it's for us to be able to compete with the squad we've got, we're working miracles. I mean miracles right now. Like, it's not even, it's a joke how well we're performing in the league in Europe with what we've got. I'm not blind enough to that. I'm not stupid enough to think, no, we're bang on where we should be. This is great. No, miracles with the squad that we've got. The players are good enough. I'm not saying the players aren't. But when you're asking them to play in excess of coming up on 50 games, I think, or it will be it's coming up on 47,
yeah, I mean,
48,
there's 38 games in the Premier League, and what we had 6 in the Europa League group
7,
stages,
8, 9,
and two in the against Seville, and obviously we're going to play 2 when it's said and done against Lyon.
There's 11.
We had 3 games in the League Cup.
Yeah,
I remember right.
We're talking
3 in the
50
FA Cup.
games, Rob.
Yeah.
We're talking 50 games this season, right? The squad of practically 18 players, of which I think 4 are made up of kids out of the under 23s. Yeah. So essentially, we're working on 15 players.
Yeah, it's about 15 players.
The same 15 players. And let's be honest, Noble's not played as much.
Nope.
Fredericks hasn't played as much.
Crow
hasn't played as much. Vlasic hasn't played as much. Benny hasn't played as much. All of a sudden, you're going, well, we're using the same 11 week in, week out.
Can I just pick up on
come back and
this?
tell me why these guys can't be knackered, and come back and tell me why we can't keep using that excuse. And I've just given you the exact reason that's why we're using that excuse.
I just want to pick up on this because Mr. Walsh put it in about the under 23s not having if you will, an incentive to hang around, because they must be looking at it and going, well, why couldn't we have had a chance? We're clearly not going to play against Lyon, and that's fair enough. But surely, if you wanted to shake things up, rest a few bodies here and there ahead of the main event, we can be the undercard.
Two of them would have played against Brentford.
Well,
yesterday,
here's the thing:
did
David Moyes not himself? Correct me if I've misremembered this. Did David Moyes not himself say earlier this season that Harrison Ashby was the closest player from the under 23s to the first team? He was the closest one to make the breakthrough. I'm not imagining that, am I?
3 games.
Okay.
League games.
And I think, I don't think he's played 3 league games. I know he played in the League Cup against Spurs at their place. I'm struggling to remember if he's played anything other than that in the Premier League. Maybe a couple of minutes here and there.
Came off the bench against Arsenal after.
But that's it.
Was sent off. Yeah.
But that's it.
Listen, I agree with you, Rob. I agree with you.
Why is he not? Okoflex, he's ripping it up.
I read another article, Rob. I said to you 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I said to you, I read an article. Okay, that quote. David Moyes has the next Holy Trinity under his nose. Right? That was the headline. That was the headline. And it's not a West Ham-based page. This was a generic footballing fan page. It wasn't a West Ham fan page. It was a footballing fan page. And they said, I think it was Chester's Flex, and Perkins. Those 3 players there are being considered by others outside of West Ham as a club that they are considered the next Holy Trinity, the 3 of them. Okay. I've seen that article in different guys. Sorry, let me phrase it. I've seen that headline 3 times by different pages, different wording, but it all comes down to being the same. That the 3 next big things to walk out of West Ham's training ground will be those 3 players. Now, if Tartan Diego Simeone is not seeing that, then obviously we've got a fucking problem, because I'm getting more and more frustrated now when I'm seeing, I'm looking up and I'm seeing Antonio blowing out of his arsehole for the 20th game in a row, because he just cannot give any more than he's given. The guy is a workhorse, right? There might not be an end product. I get that. And I get that he sees a lot of ball out in the wing. People all of a sudden have forgotten his weak foot cross for Soucek against Seville at the London Stadium. But we'll forget that when he drags it out wide and he can do that. But right now, if I was Chester's, Flex and Perkins, I'd be going, I want to go Fulham. I'm thinking Fulham next season might be a good move
Crystal
for me,
Palace.
because they're playing me. Not even Palace, mate. Fuck Palace. Right, but I'd look at Fulham. I'd kickstart my career. I'd drop a division, kickstart my career again, or even if they come up, kickstart my career at another club. I'm not being funny. Young Fabio Cavallo, 19-year-old lad. Oh, I'm off to Liverpool in the close season. I'll see you later on. He's had an absolute blinder down there. Sessegnon, the young lad that's finally making his breakthrough at Spuds now. Yeah, these guys coming out of there. Oh, like exactly, Peter. Tell me why these kids are going to hang around. The next Holy Trinity.
No incentive to, have
they?
The
next Holy Trinity. Well, these guys are being claimed as the next Ferdinand, Cole, and Carrick. Ferdinand, Cole, Defoe. Those next 3 Lampards. Those next they're going to be the next.
More Hurston Peters.
You know exactly.
Dons, Lampard.
And here we are going. No, we're going to stick with the same lot. We got Ben Rama, we got Fornals, we got Lanzini, we got Bayern, we got Vlasic, got Antonio. Don't need anyone else. But they're running on empty.
I got a funny feeling that we got the gentleman that's waiting very patiently in the green room.
Sorry, mate, I've ranted. I do apologise.
He's used to it. Don't worry. We're going to bring him in now.
Bring him in.
Right. Talk to me, Mr. Miles.
I'm going to mute myself. So
how you doing? You all right?
Well, we're okay, but well, we're obviously discussing matters yesterday. What's your take on it, mate? What is going on?
Do you know when you go out on a night out and you make plans the following day and you'll be like, I'll definitely be there. I'm definitely going to make it that day. And then you're hanging out your arse and you go, oh, I'll go anyway. That's exactly what it was yesterday. We went out Thursday night and they're still recovering. That's probably a cleaner way of putting it, maybe.
Yep. Yeah. To be honest. And I know but there will be people, and I've actually seen it, and there's a part of me that thinks, oh yeah, that's I can kind of see what people are trying to say. Is people of an older generation would turn around and say, but the players of yesteryear, they didn't have the big squads that they do now. They didn't have the sports science. They didn't have the diet. They played on quagmire of pitches. They played on balls that soaked up the water when it pissed down with rain. And they managed to play 40, 50 plus games a season. So why can't these players? And I do sit there and I go, do you know what? I can't really argue with that one in a funny sort of way. Yes, it's a different era, it's a different game.
I think it's the intensity though. I think that's the only thing what I will say. I'm not saying that players, because obviously I was at the event on Friday and Dev was talking, and that was just a breath of fresh air anyway. And he was like, what player did you not like to play against? And he went, no one, because I could beat them all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that sort of player who speaks like that. But nowadays, players are just going to that shell. To be honest, mate, I think everyone says how intimidating it would be having the likes of Kevin Nolan, Stuart Pearce in there now. But could you really see that the players will just go, well, I won't play then? They can't give them the Ferguson chuck a boot at the wall sort of treatment, I don't think now, either, in my opinion.
No, yeah, but Fergie was the last of his era, I think, in that sort of that disciplinarian sort of guy that the guy that's the indisputable boss and you just don't cross him. That sort of manager, to be honest, doesn't exist anymore.
But yeah, no, like you said, with regards to the youngsters, mate, obviously me and you, God, that seems so long away. When we went to Southend, we obviously saw them, and I've kept a lot of eye on. I've kept obviously following Rising Hammers on Twitter.
Well,
if anyone has. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So Rising Hammers, if you haven't, give that a follow. They do a lot of stuff and do all the set. Like Harrison Ashby is a mate. Like people rave about Ben Johnson, but in my opinion, Harrison Ashby is a step higher than Ben. That's probably a bold statement for me to make. The reason why he's got a bold statement is because he's got pace, and he takes one touch and he crosses that ball in. I'm not saying I know the Premier League is an easier step up, but that's what we're missing. That's what Thomas Sojek's missing. Even Soufal yesterday, he just didn't get up and cross the ball. That's what we need. We need players get one touch and whip it in.
Did you notice yesterday, Andy? A lot of the time that when we did get forward, as very minimal as it was before going 1-0 down, we got down to the byline and fucking stopped and came back on ourselves again.
Yeah.
And we for God knows why we were trying to work it into more of a central position. Like we were scared of crossing the ball. Not like unless we're going for corners, and then we got the height and everything else. We didn't look like we wanted to get down the wings and just whip a ball in there. Probably because they don't know whether Antonio's going to be where he's meant to fucking be. But like we just kept coming back on ourselves every time.
Saying about Antonio, did you see his heat map for yesterday?
I worryingly no is the answer.
Tell him, Milesy.
Let's just say he looks like Joe, when you do like a piss up the wall, 2 piss lines. That's what it looked like, and nothing in the centre.
Yeah, you're playing as a number 9 now, mate. You're not a winger anymore. Just get in the fucking box.
To be honest, I thought he was going to get sent off yesterday. I honestly thought he did. Like, he done that challenge as well, which he was frustrated. But the thing what done me in, I would rather have him got a yellow card by taking someone out. When he lost that ball, just 2-footed someone and took him out. Go, I fucked up. Sorry, I'll take the card. But instead, he was blowing before they even got to the 18-yard box. And
I was worried he might have got injured, let alone sent off.
Yeah.
And that would have in all likelihood been the end of his season.
But I agree with what everyone says in the comments. Brentford have won 4 out of the last 5. They beat Chelsea 4-1. I think if it was like, no disrespect, I know Norwich got the result the weekend, but if it was a Norwich, I think I'd be more pissed off.
He hasn't ruined Ben Rama. Ben Rama ain't good enough. Sorry, I'm going in on that. I don't give a monkeys. I don't care. Listen, he had every chance of coming on yesterday and at least trying. And he looked as disinterested as fucking Antonio did with his 2 piss lines on heat map.
Do you think he knows he's on borrowed time though? Do you think that's kind of?
Mate, I'd sell him tomorrow if we could. If the window opened, he's gone. I don't like what I've seen from him. He strolled around when he came on yesterday. He strolled around like there was absolutely no effort. He ruined Dalla.
Wasn't the only one in fairness though?
No, he wasn't, and that's why I've said from 1 to 11 yesterday was diabolical. Subs coming on were awful. I'm not saying that. But you can't listen. He ruined Dalla. I'll give you that. Hala, look at him now, flying. Love it. Off you go, son. No, when you've got a player that hasn't got any interest in trying to make a difference, then no, he hasn't ruined that player.
I've got but I think you mentioned this the other day. Would you rather have 11 Pablo Fornals or 11 Saïd Benrahmas?
I'd rather have 11 Pablo Fornals.
I'm just trying to put it that way. Like we've got these, we're trying to play this the so-called West Ham way. We've got these flair players, and I've become to see him quite closely. Like obviously, Gates can probably vouch for this at home. On like it's different watching. I'm not saying that your opinion's wrong, but it's sometimes it's different when you watch it live. Like because obviously you're not just focusing on the ball, and you can see their attitude and stuff, what they're doing off it, and it's not just Benrahma. It is Pablo Fornals recently. I think Pablo Fornals. He's one of my greatest players until Christmas. He's dropped off. The only reason why he's playing is because of his work rate. We've just not got the squad depth. Well, we have. We've got Okoflex, for example. But the one what really frustrated me is the team what I sort of suggested on Saturday, gent. I'm not saying Noble would have made it. Noble would be in Ericsson's face yesterday. You want fucking some? Bang, have that. Fucking take one out. Like, this is the thing. Souček was nowhere near. He looked like a lost puppy. Sorry.
That one. Use a footballing brain. I was screaming at the telly against Leon the other night. Every time we got the ball, he was trying to. Jake, if you're in the chat, I apologise. He was too busy trying to fuck around with the ball. It needs to be simple. Find another claret and blue shirt. As someone else has just put there, first thing he did when he came onto the pitch yesterday was pass the ball to a Brentford player. Ooh! Simple.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's fair to say that Benny's a very dividing. He polarizes the fan base. There's a section of the fan base that think he's the best thing since sliced bread. There's a section of the fan base that just will not have him. Listen, I'm gonna say my piece. I think that Said Benrahma is a very technically gifted footballer, and I've seen him in games this season. And I'm going to take a recent example where I was at the game. I was lucky enough to go to the Spurs game. He was our best player. No ifs, no buts. Now, having said that, the rest of the players in comparison to him weren't great against him. But he had a go. He looked bright. He scored the goal and all the rest of it. But can I honestly sit here and say that he has proven to everyone, and I'm not just talking West Ham fans, I'm talking the neutral fans of other clubs. If you turned around to a Liverpool fan, a Manchester City fan, a Norwich fan, whatever, and said, do you believe on what you've seen on Said Benrahma that he's proven that he's a consistent Premier League level performer? I don't think you'd get a universal yes. I really don't. And listen, that's just my opinion. Now, other people can sit there and say he's got X amount of goals, he's got X amount of assists, and all of which is true, and that's fine. You can't argue with the stats; they are what they are. But I did a recording earlier on today, and I won't say who, but I did a recording earlier on today with a gentleman in the West Ham fan YouTube channel fraternity who said about Benrahma, the thing with him is he's the sort of player that he'll probably misplace a pass here, misplace a pass there, and look like he's a bit ropey, but then all of a sudden he'll I think he referenced the Aston Villa game when he obviously set up. Was it two? He got 2 assists in that game, didn't he? So on paper, it was you could say you could look at that and go he had a good game. He got 2 assists. What more do you want? Which is fine. But up to that point, he was having a game that you could look at and go, not too sure.
See, in my opinion, he needs to be a number 10. He can't be a winger. He needs to be a number 10, and I think someone with the bit of the free role. Because I love, like you said, he tries to do that trickery. He done that obviously against Leon. He had them perfect opportunity, and he just missed that. With the number 10, he's proved it for Brentford. He scored against Brentford as well at the start of the season when he's done it. Man United at home. When he's in that middle and he's got 1 or 2 tight space and he's just got to shoot, he can do it. I think when he's got like 4 or 5 touches, I think that's where he lacks. Where the Premier League players are like, well, the experienced players are going to be like, have it. Do you see what I mean? That's my opinion on him. I think a number 10, yes, but winger, no.
Yeah. I mean, Scott's making the point there. He's got a better pass percentage than Bruno. Yeah, but there's other facets
he
that you
makes
judge.
1 pass a week. Like you can't make a judge on a pass percentage if a player's if Bruno's playing, let's say 90 minutes every single week, makes, for instance, 75 passes in a game and only makes 45 passes in a game, whereas Benrahma comes on and only plays 6 minutes and makes 3 passes and 2 go to the right players. You can't judge on that. That doesn't make sense. As for you saying he's a 10 and BREWHU saying he's 1,000% a 10, he ain't a winger. I'm sorry, he played as a winger in a front three for Brentford. That's why we bought him. That's
yeah,
where
but
he played.
it wasn't in a 4-2-3-1. In fairness,
It
was
was,
it?
no, it was in a
4-3.
4-3, which means he was what, 15 foot further forward? Sorry, he's a good
Yeah.
player can make that difference.
And the one thing I will
ain't a
say,
tank.
we played him as a winger, but the Championship to the Premier League is a big step up.
Yes.
If he did play there, sorry. I'm just going. I'm fighting both angles. I'm fighting both angles. But like,
I'm willing
Yeah.
to listen. And
Yeah.
Ivan Toney, he made the step up. He's done all right this season. Ollie Watkins last year made the step up. He's done all right this season.
Yeah. So when you look at the Premier League, he played 28 games, 6 goals, 6 assists, and played nearly 2,000 minutes of football. Which
anyway, I'm not talking about him anymore. You can.
But the thing is, what's frustrating, if you sort of look at, I'm just looking at his last previous Premier League games, what he's played. He's played, so Aston Villa, he played 87 minutes, Spurs obviously 90, Everton 82, and Brentford 33. So if you look at his average, he is contributing a lot to the, like, it's not like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. So a player of his quality should have more influence on the game. But yeah, like you said, we'll move on.
Yeah. Fair.
No, you can talk about him. I'm just not talking about him anymore.
Oh no, I don't either. I don't either because I think it's the one players who are really frustrating me more than anything else at the minute, and I think he's sort of got a pass this season, is Thomas Souček. I think he's been given a pass. If you're going to start talking about players, and when you see the likes of Alex Crow, and Happy's probably going to like me for saying this, where would we be without Lanzini? Lanzini's the one who stepped up in Thomas's shoes, in my opinion.
You're going to get a marriage proposal now. Yeah, but Souček has looked a shadow of his former self. It has to be said, Duke. Now, whether you put that down to tiredness, again, the T word, sorry, or whether you put it down to the fact that Declan Rice, I mean, you've sort of like said the theory that maybe Declan has sort of gone to David Moyes and said, listen, I want to get forward a bit more, which means that Thomas Souček's got to be the one to sit more than he did last season when he got 10 goals and Hammer of the Year. And we were sitting here going, oh, yeah, if Barcelona were sort of like in for him, you're probably going to be asking for somewhere between 60 and 80 million for a deep-lying goal-scoring midfielder. Now you'd be lucky to get half that, to be quite honest, on the basis of this season. What's gone wrong?
I really don't know, to be honest. Like you said, he's played a lot of football, but
something like he hadn't missed. Was it something like 100 games, Rob, or the 3 years, or something stupid like that? Wasn't it? I think you said at the start
was a ridiculous amount, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I think since the start of 2020, he's played 120 consecutive games or something for club and country.
Which is absolutely fucking ridiculous in this day and age of football, when you can have a squad, 20, 22, 24 players in a squad. Like, come on now, sort your shit out. But Rob, I've said it before. I've said it before on videos. The exact reason is that he's gone missing is because Declan Rice and Declan Rice has turned around and said, I'd like to try and get forward a bit more, boss. And of course, we're going, please stay. Oh, shit, please don't go. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, come on, quick, let's go.
Well, what would you do if you was in David Moyes' shoe?
Listen.
That's the thing.
But listen, right? I'm not saying I wouldn't have made the change to start with, but the second you realise that is not being, fruitful for the team, for the club, that it's not working, you go, sorry, Deck, it's not working, mate. I don't care how important you think you are. It ain't working. It's not conducive to a better team play. We're going back to where we were. And I turn around and go, enough's enough. Listen, we want you to stay, but quite clearly you don't have the same effect going forward as what Big Tom does. So hold your horses, son. Get yourself back in in that holding role. Do what you do best, and let Souček do what he does best. And I'm convinced that that's why Souček isn't as profitable, if you want, that kind of player that we saw last season. I'm convinced that's why.
I mean, yesterday I don't think that was necessarily the case. I have to say, because go back and watch that game again if you dare. There were quite a few phases of the play where I was watching it, and it wasn't Thomas Souček that was alongside Declan Rice. It was Manuel Lanzini. Thomas Souček was about another 10, 15 yards further up for a lot of that game. Wasn't to any great
And our
effect,
only shot on
obviously,
target.
but he was the only, yeah, exactly. He was the only one that made a sort of like an attempt on goal. So, but I just don't think that he's, for whatever reason, whether it is tiredness or whether it's the way that he's being implemented, the fact of the matter is that the Thomas Souček we've got at the minute is just not. It's just not working, as you said earlier, Duke. It's not working.
See, I know Creswell had a shocker yesterday. Especially
mate, they all had a shocker yesterday.
No, but do you think that's sending off as well? He's playing on his. I know it's a different competition, but if you look, I think it has.
It's rocked him. He's having to reevaluate how he defends because he's now worried that something might come in the Premier League now. You know, listen, you see that kind of arm on the shoulder 20, 30, 40 times a weekend in the Premier League. Nothing happens. Nothing. You might get the referee give a free kick and then walk up and go, I can behave yourself, knobhead. But you certainly don't get that. And I think he's rocked him. I really do think he's now. I can't. I don't want to go. I saw Diop get so much shit for that goal yesterday. And I think you can't. Yeah. And the first. No, but I'm on about the first one. Sorry. Oh right.
The first one. I think that's a bit harsh for the first one. The second one, I agree with, but the first one, I think it was a bit of everyone. And I think everyone's just going to compare him to Zuma, aren't they? Really?
Well, you can't, and that's the problem, right? You really can't. At the end of the day, we've got. Tighten them up.
Super David Moyes. I'm sorry.
You know, we've got a team.
Super David Moyes
that isn't being utilised in its entirety, and that's my problem right now. Is you've got these. You've put these youngsters in the squad for whatever reason. Then you need to start using them. You know, the guys earlier were talking about Alese. 6'4". The geezer's a monster. Who was it
that put in the chat earlier that Kevin Keane has said he's ready?
Yeah, mate.
So,
I know people that are working within the youth setup up there, and they've gone along and they've watched the under-23s train, etc. And he turned around and he said to me, Alese is the next Ferdinand. Like he's going to be massive. He's that good, Rob. He's that good.
Okay.
The three boys up front, Chester's, right? Chester's is one that loves to run.
He scored again today.
Yep. He loves to take people on. He'll get to the byline. He'll put a ball in a box. Oko Flex has a touch. Honestly, he's like a magician. The ball's there 1 second, and the next minute it fucking ain't, and he's gone. Right? He's gone. And I'm looking at it going, my God, like if this is true, right? I'd say to Fornals, do us a favour, son. You know, have a seat. Chester's off you go, son. Ashby, Vlad, you can piss off. You know what I do for Leon Away? You know what I do for Leon Away? Is I put Johnson out on the left and I put Ashby in at right back.
Wow, big call.
I really would. Because Ashby, as we've said, has got the pace. He will get down that wing and he will whip a crossing. Okay, when you've got Souček and Antonio that can be in that box on the end of them, and then you've got the likes of Bowen, Lanzini, Fornals waiting for a ball to drop elsewhere, thump, right? That's what we're lacking. That's what we're lacking right now. I'd let
Kent
Danny
makes
Chester
a good point
play.
there. Kent makes a good point. He's 21, Alese.
Yeah.
Most
you
players.
Can't blame him.
He needs to play. He needs to play.
He deserves to play, Rob. It ain't even a case of needs to play. He deserves to play.
Milesy, what are your thoughts on what Duke's just said there about
100%. 100%.
you'd
Ashby,
go Ashby and
Ashby's, I'm not saying world class, but Ashby, like I said earlier, I trust him with the ball. One touch, cross it. And I think he'd even done it in the Europa League game. I think he was probably our best player when we lost to Zagreb at home.
Yeah.
All we wanted to do, and he's not scared. If he loses the ball, 9 times out of 10, he'll get the ball back as well. He's that kind of player. I think that understanding what he'll have with Bowen, it will give Bowen so much more space because the fact that he'll be running him. And if you're that scared, like what you're saying, I'm not saying he would, but why not go for the 3-5-2? Put Alessi next to Diop and Dawson, and then play wing backs. Play Ashby and Johnson there. Then you're shut up, Alexa.
Even she's telling you don't play a 3-5-2 at fucking Leon.
No, but you see what I mean? Like Alessi, if you're saying he's ready, he played well in there.
She's going to answer you. Just mute her. Just turn her shut up.
No, but it's just an idea. If you want to get them players in, and then you can. But
only thing that would worry me, the last time we played 3 at the back was away at Spurs, and it didn't go too well there. I know it's different personnel, different opposition, different set of circumstances, but I just look at that and go, look, we've very rarely played 3 at the back this season, and from memory, I don't think we've had too much success with it.
I think we set up too negatively when we go 3 at the back. I really do. I think we set up far too negatively.
But we're all saying all this. You never know. Zoom might be playing on Thursday. Apparently, it's just a twisted ankle.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I thought he rolled it. I don't. It doesn't.
Magic spray, he'll be fine.
Yeah. See,
whatever happened to the old magic sponge?
I know.
Yeah. No, I agree with Trudge there. They've all got recovery pace. That's because I think it's an age thing as well. Like, no disrespect to Cresswell, but we're all in agreement that he's in the twilight now of his of his career. They all do. They all have that, obviously, that burst of pace. You know, I just think I'd give Ashby a shout on Thursday night. Listen, what have we got to lose from it? It's an experience for him.
I think his performance today will push him in, Duke. Like you said,
his performance against Spuds in the cup. You know, when he stood his ground against Højbjerg. You know, he stood his ground. He kind of looked there like, "What? Who the fuck do you think you are? Get away from me, knobhead!" And he stood his ground, and I love that about him. I was like, "Go on, boy, get on." He was like, "Shut up, go away," and got on with his game. The guy tried to intimidate. You know, practically a debutant in his first probably real big game, whatever you want to put it, against his rivals. He's trying to intimidate the guy, and the guy was like, "Nah, go away. I'm not interested. Off your trot." I mean, listen. It gets to a point on Thursday night where if it's still 0-0, Occo Flex, Perkins, I don't care who. Get them on there. You know, these kids got nothing to lose in it all.
Do you know what worries me though, Duke? You say about if it's 0-0, just knowing David Moyes, and again, this is not a criticism; it's just an observation. It's my opinion on what David Moyes would do. He'll be happy with a 0-0. I think he'd be quite content with going away from home, getting a 0-0, and taking his chances with penalties. Yeah, and maybe it would work, maybe it wouldn't.
It just scares me.
But what do you think, Milesy? Do you think that's a likely scenario? That rather
I think the fact that away goals don't exist as well. I think it will be like the Seville game. You'll go for the first 45 minutes, go at them, try and get a goal. If you get a goal, lucky, then we'll sit back. Because that's what we sort of done against Seville, didn't we? We didn't really want half time. We had a fantastic 45 minutes, then it sort of killed us. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll come out the traps. I think we will get a goal. And it will just be, can we hold on? Really, I think.
What about this one? Just one's just caught my attention. Budgie's just mentioned Connor Coventry. He's obviously away on loan. MK Dons.
He's flying.
He's doing well for them.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say, and here's my thing, is yes, he's flying for MK Dons, but that is tier 3 football. You know,
not for me.
Yeah,
Defoe,
I mean, he didn't
Defoe,
rip it up in
Beckham,
tier 2.
Defoe, Beckham.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you know what the funny thing was hilarious? 8 clubs, including us, are linked with flipping Josh Cullen in the summer.
Really?
Yeah, eight Premier League clubs are after him.
Go on. Has there been a price that's been bandied around?
I think we'll be at, obviously. I don't think they've paid all the full money, so we're obviously, but I think about 12 to 15 million.
12 to. How much did we sell him for? $1 million, wasn't it?
Just call us Chelsea.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Surely we should have put something exactly that, because Chelsea are quite clever when they sell players. They'll put in a buyback clause.
You never know.
and
They may,
we
but we
agree.
may have. We may do. Obviously, we don't know that. But the fact that he's captain as well for them is mad, isn't it? Really, what company's done for him. But
Yeah.
no, for commentary though, not really for me, to be honest.
I think that he's got a little bit of it. Like I say, yes, he's flourishing at a league, a tier 2, tier 3 team, but I just think, listen, he needs to be putting his mark out on a tier 1 team, and he didn't do it at Peterborough. Now I know some people are like, it was completely the wrong team for him. It was just as much West Ham's fault as it was his in loaning him out to a club that wasn't suited to him. They didn't do their due diligence, but there you go. Right. Shall we do our player ratings, gentlemen?
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Well, it's a little bit. I see. I have these crazy ideas.
Is it going to be like
is-
higher or lower?
It might be. It's kind of. Let me just get this shared with you, gentlemen. Okay. This is really simple. You can see what we've got there. We've got the starting 11, and I will also include subs and the manager in this. And you can give your player ratings 1 to 10 or 0 to 10 as usual. No half marks. They're not allowed. But you might notice 2 little things there up in the top right-hand corner. This one here, hero. This one here, 0. Hero or 0. Now you can utilize that on whichever players you see fit. You can only do 1 on each.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you think that yesterday our best player was, for example, Michail Antonio, then I'd suggest you get yourself down to Specsavers a bit lively.
is that what the F is for? Specsavers.
Yeah. And obviously, whichever player you think was the dud, or if you want to actually sort of like put it on David Moyes, you can, not a problem. But you can only put it on one person. So, who wants to go first?
Are we taking it in turns 1 to 11, or are we doing it 11 and then 11?
I don't mind. I'm cool.
All right, we'll compare scores.
Oh, we're not going to throw anything at you, Luke. We're not going to throw
Luke,
anything at you.
as of term.
Oh yes. I don't know. I was going to say, Luke, I sent you a message actually, just while I remember, on Twitter. I think I sent it. Hang on a minute, if you bear with me. Yes, I did. I sent you a message on Twitter. Could you do us a favour? And if you get an opportune moment, could you respond to that at your earliest convenience? Thanks very much. Right. Okay. I'll tell you what we'll do, because Milesy's the guest coming in. Do you mind if I let Milesy have a crack at this first?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
We're doing 1 player each, yeah? Or we're doing the whole 11?
Do the whole 11. We're going to do the whole 11 and the subs and the manager.
Right, okay.
Let's do it. Right. Milesy, talk to me about Lucas Fabianski yesterday.
I'm going to give him a 5.
Oh, brutal.
I thought the first one, I think Areola may have saved it. I'm not saying he would have.
Yep.
I think Areola's reactions, which he's proven obviously in the Seville game, making that world-class save, I think he may have been able to get a hand to it. And I also think when we were chasing the game, his distribution was just too slow. If we want to try and chase the game, I put the ball down, try and play the ball out quickly, but instead he was slow. That's my criticism of him. So yeah, I'll give him a 5. I'm going to give him a 5. 5's average, isn't it? Really? So yeah.
I'd say that's the sort of anything less than 5, and it's like, mate, what the hell were you doing on the pitch? I guess.
Yeah.
So, how about Aaron Cresswell? I take it that he's not going to be the recipient though of any either the hero or the zero moniker.
No.
No.
I think our zeros might be the same, me and Dukes. I think.
Ooh. Right. Okay. We'll go with Aaron Cresswell next, then, Milesy.
I'll probably give him a 5 as well, mate.
Ooh.
To be honest, like what Duke sort of said, we sort of agreed on that, and probably people in the chat, he's that sending off has shaking him off a bit. I would have gave him a 6 if he that chance what he had in late on the volley. But yeah, he just looks a bit shaky. So yeah, I'll probably give him a 5. 5's reasonable, I think.
Yeah, and guys, sorry, I should have said, guys in the live chat, please get involved in this. Don't just sit there and sort of don't get involved. Please give us your marks as well, and also as you're going along, tell us who your hero or zero is as well. Okay, we'll go the other side, Milesy. Vladimir Kufal.
I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay.
The reason why I'm giving him a 6 is because he's not played in a while, and I just love him. He just puts the effort in. He did look a bit ropey, but I just think he's a good. He didn't really do much wrong, but he didn't do much right, so he's just above average for me.
Fair enough. It's probably a little bit unfair to ask you to mark a guy that came off injured, but I am going to do it because he was one of the starting 11. Kurt Zuma.
Oh, I'm going to give him a 6 as well. You can't really give him that much value, but you saw obviously that's how he got injured twice. He's never say die attitude. Love him. Probably one of our best signings in the last couple of years. So yeah, I'll give him a 6 because he's just Zuma.
Fair enough. And his defensive central partner in Craig.
I'm using my S.
You're using your S.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Hello. He's bringing this. He's got the hero. There he is. Craig Dawson, talk to me.
I think everyone would say it when we signed him. It seems so long ago. We were thinking, what are we doing? But whenever he's been called upon, he's obviously twice he's had his nose smashed in. Never say die attitude. Love what he done to what's his chops Holgate on Sunday when he laughed at him when he done the dive as well. He is a proper, and I know people over exaggerated, but he does. He's the closest thing to Ginger Pele. And Ginger Pele was one of my favourite West Ham players. So yeah, he's my S.
He's your hero of the day. Okay.
Yeah.
So we move a little bit further forward. We'll go with the guy with the armband yesterday, Mr. Declan Rice.
Sorry, people.
Ooh.
I'm giving him a 5.
Oh wow!
I think that was one of his. I think that was one of his worst games. I think this season. You could tell he's looked knackered. When fucked me off, I'm going on a rant. It's fucking England. What a waste of time of him going all the way there, doing all that training to feature in 2 pointless games. We're the only ones paying the price for it. So yeah, I think he just looked a bit lost and knackered. Obviously, the amount of running he done on Thursday, so as well, I think it's paid its toll. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 5.
Fair enough. What's your thoughts on his partner Thomas Soucek though?
3.
Oh, studs up.
I think this is going to sound harsh. I think we would have played better without him. 10 men. I think he's done nothing. He offered us nothing. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, I'm giving him a 3.
But he does.
Oh, Walshy's harsher than me on Rice. Fucking hell.
But getting him a 3, does he get the 0 of the mark? Is there someone that was worse than him?
Yeah.
Oh my! Oh, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Pablo Fornals?
5.
Okay.
It was just Pablo. He just ran around, looked busy, didn't really offer us much, but he didn't really have anyone to really pass to. No one was at it. So yeah, I'll give him a 5. I think that's fair.
Yeah, ran around but didn't really do much. Bit like a headless chicken.
Yeah, or like a 4-year-old in the kids' playground. Oh, what do I do?
Just chase the ball. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So just look like you're busy. How about Jared Bowen?
5 as well.
Okay.
Disappointing. I saw the comments as well, and I did actually see that as well. Apparently, he had got a knock in the warm up, and he still played. So, which is a surprising, which you can't fault his efforts, but if he's injured for Thursday now or not, 100% we could take its toll. But like you said, when no one's clicking, this is the reason why they're all going to get these. When no one's clicking, you're not going to get. You've not got a Messi, for example, from 4 or 5 years ago who can just take on the team and score like what Bowen done.
Fair enough. Manuel Lanzini.
I'm actually going to give him the highest part. He was actually my man in the match because he actually tried and wanted the ball and tried to make things happen. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.
You look like you approved of that one, Duke. He's happy with that one. Yeah. Talk to me about Michail Antonio. Ooh. You're thinking how to choose your words, I'm guessing.
Do you know when you split up with a missy or a girl and they just don't fucking leave you alone, even though you tell them to block and all that? Yeah, I think it's like that. He's like an annoying ex-girlfriend who don't leave you alone, and you just want him to fuck off. And I think that's pretty much what everyone wanted him. I didn't want him to play yesterday. He's just pulling himself out to the ground, and it could cost us. So yeah, he's my Z. No, actually, yeah, he's my Z. He's my Z. He's
going to be your 0.
I forgot about him. Yeah, I forgot about the 0. Yeah, and I'm giving him a 1 for putting the shirt on.
Brutal. Okay, well, that's the starting 11 dealt with. If I just sort of bring down, we've got the subs and we've got the manager himself. And you can also, as a little added bonus, you can go 0 and 0 here as well if you so wish. So you get another bite at the cherry. So
we start with Diop.
Yeah.
It was a fault for. I think it was very harshly treated, like I said earlier, for the first goal. But the second goal, yeah, he just looked a bit confused. Actually, I wanted your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. So obviously, we've seen him play as a right centre back. I think he's good, and obviously he played with Oggy and Zuma. Would you swap them over for Thursday and have Dawson as left centre back and Diop at the right, so he's more comfortable? I think Dawson I'd trust more on the left centre back. Maybe try that.
From what I've been led to believe, I don't think Dawson wants to play left.
No. I just think it. I think it is. Yeah. No. I'll give him a 5. He didn't really. He made a mistake, but yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
What do you think about that idea that Milesy's just come out with, Duke?
Yeah. I also agree with you. I don't think Dawson wants to play that side. So if he does play, he's got to play alongside Zuma. So we've just got to hope Zuma's fit. Otherwise, you'll see Dawson play the right and Diop on the left, unfortunately. So you just got to hope that Zuma's fit.
Yeah, that's what we're all sort of keeping our fingers crossed for. Is it 2 hours before kickoff they kick out the team sheets on a Europa game, isn't it? It's an hour. Okay.
An hour and a half. Sorry.
Split the difference.
Hour and a half. Yeah. It's the thing.
So what about
the Duke? You're right, Gates. They have to submit it 2 hours before kickoff, and it gets released an hour and a half. It's
got it.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. What about Mr. Ben Rama?
I'm going to give him a 4.
Okay.
Because he really frustrated me. This was the time when I thought, yeah, he's gonna come on, and the crowd were cheering him, like saying he wants to come home and all that. And I thought, like what he done in the reverse fixture in the friendly, yeah, literally prove them and play that. And literally, he was just trying to take them all on, just passed at the wrong time. So yeah,
that sounds like him every game.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Vlasic?
He actually looked quite lively from the couple of chances. He was chasing them down. He was chasing them down. I feel sorry for him. He's the one who I feel sorry for the most. He's the one. He's the one I feel sorry for. He's not been given the opportunity. A lot of people call him flop hitch. A lot of people call him that. But for me, you don't play for Croatia if you're shit. So
no, the only thing I'd say is there must be something that Moyes is seeing, or more to the point, not seeing in training. That's the reason why he's.
It's his stubbornness, mate. It's stubbornness.
Yeah.
It's stubbornness. I think it's just saying, well, I'm just gonna keep playing the same team. So yeah, I'll give him a 5.
Okay, fair. Mr. Moyes.
I'll give him a 5.
Ooh.
I'll give him a 5 because.
Do you want to use your 0 on anyone here? You can use another one.
No.
You're going to leave that in. You're going to keep your powder dry. Just going to use the 2 on the.
Yeah, no. I feel sorry for Moyes. Like you said, he plays with a small squad, and I actually get the starting 11 yesterday. I actually do, because me and Nicky were talking before the game. All the results, apart from Spurs, went in our favour, and he's probably thinking, if I play my strongest 11, I should get the result. But it didn't. So I'm going to give him a 5 for giving it a go. But obviously it didn't work either. So that's my reasoning.
Fair enough. Well, cheers for that, Milesy. Do appreciate that. So I'm just going to move them off of there. I wonder if Duke might be giving a very, very similar assessment to yourself, or whether he might have.
I wonder whether he's agreed with me on a lot of it, or he's going to go, "What the fuck? What the fuck is he talking about?"
He's listen. He's going to go. He's going to go studs up on a couple of them, I dare say. Right. Okay.
He's ready.
I've seen what you've just put in live chat there, mate. Listen, you crack on with that. Not a problem. Okay, Mr. Duke. So we're going to start again with Lucas Fabianski.
Okay, Mr. Fab, I'm going to give him a 5. I agree with Andy. I'm not sure whether Areola could have got down and got a save for the first goal. His distribution is so slow. I mean, there was a point in the second half where, first half, sorry, we're getting the ball out of play, getting the ball out quick to the wingers, and he kind of stood there. You even heard the cheer from the Brentford fans, because I think it was Sufal and Bowen were on their bikes, and he kind of didn't do nothing. And I think Bowen lost his absolute shit with him, and the Brentford fans cheered. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 5.
Okay, Mr. Cresswell.
I'm going to give him a 5 as well. As I said earlier, I think he's been rocked slightly by his sending off. I think it's given his confidence a bit of a kick in the testicles. So it's rough coming off the back of that. But for me, I'm going to give him a 5.
Okay, fair enough. We'll go to Mr. Kufal.
I'm going to give him a 7. He's endeavoured down that right wing. He really did try a lot. There was a lot of effort. He was trying to get things going. You could see by, the way he was trying to get the ball early from Fabianski, and Fab not giving. You could see how frustrated he was. He was frustrated when there was no movement in front of him. He was trying, but everything around him was just so static. So I'm going to give him a 7 for at least having a go.
Fair enough. Again, same as with Milesy, it's probably a little bit difficult for you to mark him given his limited involvement. But Kurt Zouma,
going to give him a 6.
Okay.
We've agreed on a lot of stuff. I'm happy. Happy.
Oh yeah. We ain't over yet, Andy. Hang on.
I know. I'm marking them off.
I'm going to give him a 6. I think. Did I say 6? Yeah, I did say 6. Didn't I? You saw just how bad it became when he went off, and just how heavily reliant we are on someone of his quality. And he is quality, and we just look weaker at the back when he ain't there.
Fair enough. Craig Dawson.
I'm going to give him a 7.
A 7.
A 7. Listen, the guy is immense. He's not going to get my S. That's going to someone else.
Oh, really?
But for me, yeah, he's becoming Mr. Dependable, Mr. Reliable. He's
Evening, Pat.
I used to call Steve Potts Mr. Dependable, because he was always there. He played some stupid consecutive games as well, and for me, he's just there, and he's a rock, and he'll put himself. I mean, he ended up with blood all over his bloody mouth and face again yesterday, just something out, whatever it was, probably blew his nose too hard after having it broken on Thursday. But again, I can't talk highly enough of the guy.
Fair enough. We move a little further forward now. The guy with the armband, Mr. Declan Rice.
I'm sad to say I'm not going as low. I'm going to go 5. What
Okay.
did you give him, Miles? Did you give him
think
a 4?
you gave him a 5,
You gave him
didn't
a
you?
5.
I'll go with a 4.
You gave him
Oh,
a
did
5.
you?
I'm going
Sorry.
a 5. Again, you could see his frustration with the lack of movement in front of him when he's trying to come forward. It was 3 or 4 occasions when he was looking for that forward pass. And we were standing static behind players. There was no movement for him to be able to find some space. You know, it was hard for him yesterday. So I'm going to go 5.
Okay. Thomas Souček.
5. It's again, I think he's being kind of locked back. I think he's kind of being sorry, Miles, I just read that. I just feel he's kind of having his hands tied or his shoelaces tied, and it's affecting his game.
Okay, fair enough. How about Pablo Fornals?
Right, take the S.
Oh, hello.
Take the S and give it to my man Pab. Right.
Giving him the Superman moniker.
I don't give a monkeys what anyone says. I know what's coming and I know who it's coming from, and I don't give a shit. The man does not stop working. He is a shire horse of a player. He wants to do well. Who can I compare him with? I don't know.
Damien Duff.
No, West Ham player. I'm trying to think.
Oh. Mark Keller. Sinclair.
I'm actually going to go with John Moncur. His effort. He literally runs. There it is. Bang. Right. I just, he does not stop. I love it. Listen, I love him. And if Deck ends up going, Pab's the one I build the team around.
Really?
All day long.
I actually agree with that.
All day long.
You make him into that centre midfield player. I'd probably even give him the band, to be honest. I think he'd live it. I would. He's the Cockney Iniesta, isn't he?
Mate, I tell you, he's got a footballing brain. He knows when to use it. He knows when it's the right time to make the pass. He knows when it's the right time to take the player on. He knows when the right time is to recycle that ball. And if there's nothing in front of him, don't give it away needlessly.
High praise. So you'd have him as the next West Ham captain if you was in charge.
Listen, if Declan Rice
After
leaves in the summer,
obviously.
bosh, and he drops all day long.
Okay.
Oh,
do you know,
Budgie, thank you. There you go. Scotty P. Thank you.
That's quite a comparison. I loved Scott Parker. He was great.
Thank you, Budge. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Talking of Scott Parker, we're going off subject quickly. I watched Mark Noble's testimonial back again the other day.
Mate,
that's a great watch. If anyone wants
to. The other day.
Yeah, that's what I watched. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even the interview before the game with like Di Canio in it and all that when he walked past. That's quite. Sorry, we always go on.
In all fairness, Trudge, he doesn't do the Parker 180 or the Noble 360, but I like it.
Fair enough. All right. Do you know what? Just before we move on, out of this batch of players, I disagree with you. I wouldn't give him the armband. I can understand you making that assertion, but I would give it to Kurt Zouma.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, I see what you mean there as well. Yeah, I think either one of them would do a job.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I would say Kurt Zouma for me because £25 million player. He's basically here for the long term unless something very peculiar happens. And he's shown his leadership qualities. Yeah, he's made a couple of cock-ups, but they've been away from the football pitch by and large. As far as his performances on the pitch are concerned, he's led by example for me. So if Declan, well, look, let's be completely honest about it. When Declan goes. I'm not stupid. I don't suspect that we will be able to keep him for much more than next season at best. So I'm bracing myself for that. As and when that happens, if Kurt Zuma's still around and he's still performing at the level he's performed at for most of this season, I'd give it to him. But that's just me. Like I say, I can understand what you're saying, Duke. Right, we move on. Mr. Bowen.
Unfortunately, Mr. Gates, I'm going to need you to take that Z.
Oh.
And I'm going to need you to put that onto Mr. Bowen for yesterday.
Oh dear.
Unfortunately,
he did have a knock, but
and it pains me. It pains me to give him the Z. It does. Like I can't. I love Bowen. I love Bowen as much as I love the man on the other side of him. But I just think that yesterday he was non-existent. I really do believe at points I just thought. I didn't even realise he was playing at some points. I thought he might have even been. Injured off the pitch. I didn't even realise he was there. To be fair.
Fair enough. So he's the recipient of your 0. Okay, Mr. Lanzini. Now be careful. Happy won't be happy if you go 2-footed on him. Be gentle.
I'll be honest with you. It was a toss-up between for the super. I know he came off relatively early in the game, but again, he tries to make things happen. Now, for me, push comes to shove, he replaces Deck in the back in the CDM role alongside Souček, and Pab drops into that hole, which frees up the left wing for Nikola Vlasic next season. While we leave questions for later, but I for me he gets a 7. He's up there alongside Pab for just the work rate, the effort, the desire. That's the word I'm looking for. The desire to try and make things happen when everyone around him really couldn't give two shits. To be honest with you.
Okay. I wonder, are you going to go 2-footed on Antonio
though? He was very, very close. I was nice. I said he got a 7.
He was quite gentle.
I actually think he was second in line for man of the match beyond Pablo, personally. 1 for Mikal.
Wow.
I just didn't see anything that I've come to see. The holding up play, the bullying defender. He was bullied yesterday. Was bullied yesterday. And they got the better of him. They got in his head and he was shit.
I'm not even too sure he was as good as that, to be fair.
I'm actually going to give Brentford centre back, that Pinnock especially.
Yeah,
they had a very good game as well. It wasn't just we were shit. They actually defended very well. As Antonio didn't have a sniff at all, and that was credit to them as well.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Right. Okay. So we've also got now the bench to do here, Duke. There they are, and the manager. Right. Talk to me about Issa Diop. As I say, you've got another hero and 0 that you can award to any of these 4 if you see fit.
Oh, I know. It's always difficult for a player to come on in a back line, especially at centre back, if you're if the person you're replacing is considered to be, the crown jewel of your defensive line. It's always a lot to come in and live up to and try and replace. And I'm going to give him a 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5. He was caught out a couple of times for placement, and which is the norm with Diop. I don't think we're saying any. I don't think we're saying anything that isn't known really. So yeah, 5.
Fair enough. Your mate.
Just take the Z.
You're giving him the Z.
It frustrates me. He frustrates me. He has all the talent in the world, and I want nothing more. And I'm getting fucking sick and tired of having to explain myself, to be honest with you, because everyone thinks I hate him, and I really don't. I just get pissed off, and I know what's coming, and I don't even have to look at the screen to know what's coming, and I just get bored with it. I shouldn't have to keep explaining myself. I want the guy to be successful. He's wearing a West Ham shirt. I want nothing more than Saeed Benrahma to prove me wrong. Unfortunately, week in, week out, he's poor recently. Like, poor.
He had a good game at Spurs.
He compared to what, Rob? What the shit that he put in beforehand?
Compared to the performance of the other players on the pitch.
Listen, if you put in 6 games of 2 out of 10 and then you put in a 5 out of 10, do you stand out because your 5 out of 10 was better than your 2 out of 10s? Or are you still having a 5 out of 10?
I'm judging him by the other players in claret and blue on the day.
What, just because they were dog shit and got 3 out of 10, his 5 out of 10 made him stand out like he was exceptional. That's my point.
Okay.
I get frustrated, I get annoyed, I get irritated, I get bemused, flummoxed that this guy from the waist down is possibly the most skillful player at the club. Okay? But from the neck upwards has the brain of a fucking footballing chipmunk.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting the chipmunk ring. Yeah. Now I've got to go and watch Alvin and the Chipmunks after this.
Football chipmunk.
He has all. I'll tell you what. He has all the pace of a gazelle and the football skills of one as well. All right. He's trying too hard to be something that everyone expects him to be. Okay, and unfortunately, it's not working for him. It's not working for him.
It's not entirely his fault, though, is it?
Why isn't it when he's the player on the fucking pitch?
No, I know what you're saying, but I think sometimes you get a situation where a player doesn't suit a team doesn't suit a player. And I just think this is one of those situations.
You adapt, Rob. You adapt and you conquer. You figure out what you need to do and you go and you change what you need to change to become better at what you do. For you to become the best washing machine, tumble dryer repairman, Rob, would you change what you can do for me to be the best barman and do what I do to be better at what I can do? Would I change what I'd have to change within me to do that? Of course I would. For Benny to keep trying the same shit day in, day out, week in, week out, and not getting a different reaction or a response or getting what is it? What's the phrase when you keep trying the same thing and getting the same, expecting a different?
Do the same thing over and over and over again. It's the definition of insanity, isn't it?
Right now, Sahil's back shouting at me. I don't like it. Wait till next week to discover who's the destroyer of West Ham. That'd be Burnley. That's Burnley. He's got the wrong claret and blue channel.
Don't know.
It doesn't matter anyway.
Don't know. But he hasn't found his caps lock button.
But that's what I'm saying about Benrahma. Okay, he tries the same thing week in, week out. He doesn't change anything. He doesn't have a footballing brain, unfortunately, at the minute. That he makes the correct choices. I plead with him every time I watch the games that he uses some footballing intelligence, and it's aimless. It's a pointless pass. The crosses against Leon last week went to Leon players. Like, my God, all the time that he was on that pitch for that first half, like, simple pass. Know when to recycle the ball. Fornals does it really well. Know when to recycle the ball. And he didn't. And Peter, thank you.
Fair enough. Nikola Vlasic?
I'm going to give him a 5. To be honest, it's one of them. He's come on. there seemed to be some effort, but with very little outcome. Whether that was because of the players around him, whether that was because we were being kind of suppressed. Probably Kent, probably, and good luck to him. And I
Like
part of me really hopes he does. I really do. So yeah, 5 for Vlasic.
Okay, Mr. Moyes.
We're going on this game, aren't we?
I'm
going to give him a 7.
Okay.
I think he set the team up in a way that he felt, hey, he's found a caps lock. I think he set the team up with what he felt was the right thing to do. The players didn't either carry that out. The players didn't adapt to a situation that was on the pitch. The players didn't... Mate, he won't score 30 in the championship. Behave. This Trudge, I like you. I've got a lot of time for you, and we agree on a lot, but not that many.
Don't know about 30.
So if you can,
there's a lot of Brentford fans that I know that turn around and say that in the big games he wasn't there. Like the game against Fulham at Wembley in the playoff final.
Yeah.
I watched it. He was not very good. It has to be saying. That's me being very polite.
But if you can take, I think he might be a Burnley fan. Just tell us. Stop being so.
God knows.
Take the S, based not just on this game, but take that S, emblazon that S on Mr. Moyes' chest for what he's done for this club over the last 2 years. Emblazon that on his chest, because I tell you what, he's on the verge. He's on the verge of giving this club some real stability, some real European adventures. He's the perfect man for this job if we can just get him to open his mind to a bigger squad. Perfect.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, that was our first little crack at it. What did you think, chaps?
Enjoyed it.
Hero or zero? I like that. It was just a little thing that popped into my head yesterday.
It'll be more harder when we actually win a game. I think when you lose, it makes it more easier who was shit and who fucking wasn't.
Yeah. But you always got to have,
Rob.
Yes.
Do me a favour, because I'm guessing there are people in the chat that are going to expect it of me. Can you get a picture somewhere? Maybe you could probably make one of Saeed Benrahma just with that Z, maybe the Zorro, just constantly on there. Fuck it. You do that
just when I do it with you, just for the sheer hell of it, because
that's what people believe I'm going to be like. These people down this left hand.
Then surprise them.
But I can't. If he's shit, I'm going to say he's shit. If I think
no, that's fine. If he's shit, say he's shit. You shouldn't be sort of stopped from saying you think X player is shit.
Oh. Not all of them.
Yeah. There's a few in Algeria, I think, that probably don't think that he's flavour of the month.
And listen, they're entitled to, and there are people out there that see the game differently than me. And listen, I'm not saying they're wrong. They see the game differently to how I see it. They expect differently from different players. They get different from different players, and they see. Go on, Peter. They just get different things out of the game. They see things differently. They expect different things, and that's fine. That's fine. I see a game a certain way. I see the game being played a certain way. I see certain players that who's JF?
JF.
Budgie.
JF. That's a song, Pat, isn't it? Where is the love? No.
Black
Not
Eyed Peas.
sung like that, it ain't.
No, well,
The Black Eyed Peas.
I never ever
Where
professed
is the
to being
love?
Listen, I need to have a couple of beers in me. When's your next karaoke, Duke?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, last night. Yeah, I had a bit of a sing song.
Oh.
What did you sing?
What's this? Can we check Blasic's and Ben Rama's passing accuracy from yesterday.
I think
We
you
did
had
it earlier,
updated,
Scott.
didn't you?
We did it earlier, but just since you've asked so nicely, let me just go back. Okay. And just so you two just chat amongst yourselves just for a couple
Hey,
of
so
minutes.
don't-
Anyway, it's nice to have you back on full, son. I've got to say.
Yeah.
I did
No,
say this.
I'm a lot better than what I was last week. I was fucking dying last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Gatesy, could you drop down a couple of messages, mate? And me and Miles here will discuss the lovely Sahil's caps lock button finding again. And he
Hang on
said
a
here
minute.
that Moyes will get West Ham nowhere. I'm dreaming.
Hey, what?
Well, he's
Oh,
got
this
us,
one. Yeah.
he's got us European competition. He's on the verge of delivering another European
Top 6
competition
finish.
and another top 6 finish. So tell me, young or old Sahel, I don't know. Possibly even my age, because you don't know where your caps button is. Tell me, Squire, why you think that's us getting nowhere from relegation to top 6 finishes. Tell me.
I remember you made that statement a few weeks ago, and
Me?
in my opinion, he's still up there. I still think in the Premier League era, David Moyes is our better manager.
Oh, mate, I'd say that David Moyes is our best manager since John Lyall, and
I agree with that.
I stick
I agree
by
with
that.
I'd probably still say that Harry Redknapp, because he got 2 top 8 finishes in the Premier League. I think if
So Gatesy, if we finish top 6 2 years in a row, will that change your mind?
yes,
Okay, and no.
yes, 100%. Right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
I would
no, that
say
makes-
it's Redknapp because
Sahil,
obviously we had 2
Sahil,
seasons.
what's too little? What's too? Mate, help me out. Come on, what's too little? What? 2 top 6 finishes in 2 years is too little. Like, mate, can you? Yeah, I mean, seriously, who are you? A City fan that thinks
Who
not
are
finishing?
you? Let's be having you.
Like,
in answer to
what?
Scott's,
I can't.
in answer
Yeah,
to
go on.
Scott's request, Ben Rama's passing stats yesterday was an 89% completion rate.
Not bad.
Vlasic was
but-
71%.
Okay, Vlasic's probably made. I'm not. I can't even because I want to. You know, Vlasic's probably trying to make more passes and probably more penetrative passes rather than to someone standing on his toes. That's right there. Tell me the difference of a 2-yard pass to a 60-yard pass, and the 60-yard pass doesn't make.
If this makes you changing the subject, does this make you feel? I've got Mark Noble calendar, desktop calendar. Look at in there when he scored his first goal against Brighton.
Yeah, see, we spoke about this, Andy, when we did
I know. That's why I brought it up because I wanted to. Yeah, mad, isn't it? It's so sad.
I remember the man's first game. You see his first game, or his first goal. Was it against Bolton? Tevez lofted pass, wasn't it, or something? Or that goal?
Tottenham, wasn't it? The volley,
no,
the Premier League goal.
That was it. Yes. And I look at that and I just kind of go, okay, and then I see him leading us out at the London Stadium, and I just go, oh, you see him celebrating with Deck after the European goal, and just go, I feel really old now.
It'll all be over soon, but
and fair play to Sky. I'm not their biggest fan, but putting that game, the Man City game, on telly 4:30 as well for the other West Ham fans to see it properly. I know there's other ways of watching it, but fair play to Sky for putting that. Obviously, City are probably still chasing the title as well.
I was going to say, do you think if we'd have been playing a team like I don't know,
Watford,
Leicester, Watford,
yeah,
Norwich,
I think they would have done.
I think they would have because they know, yeah.
Maybe.
Let's be
Look
fair.
at that Premier League table, though, gents. Look, we're still 6. It's not all sort of doom and gloom. It has to be said.
And I tell you, right, what bugs the shit out of me is the fact that Wolves lost, Man U lost, Arsenal lost. We could have taken the race for 5th in our hands. Yeah, we could have, or even we would have taken 6th and gone, we want this. I said the other day, Leicester are there with 3 games on us, which gives them 49 if they win all 3. So that brings them back within 5 points. I'm not saying that.
And I think their game in hand is against Tottenham, isn't it? Oh no, they played it. Oh no, it's Arsenal. Tottenham have got to play Arsenal still as well, haven't they?
Tottenham still got to play Arsenal, but it's the Leicester bit that worries me. That can bring them up to 49, and then only 2 points behind us if we don't start making use of the games. That we've got, the games like yesterday that, no disrespect to Brentford, we should have been winning. We should be 6 points better off. We should be at 57 after playing 2 games against Brentford. But then they did turn over Chelsea 4-1 the week before. So
they did.
It swings and roundabouts. Look, at the end of the day, Leicester have got to win all 3 games to get back within 2 points of us.
But I'd rather have the points on the board than chase.
All day long.
No question.
Yeah.
All day long, mate.
Because points in the bank, they can't. Well, they can be taken off you, but you
have a look.
The games in hand, it's like maybe you'll win and maybe you won't.
Yeah, listen, you have a look and think to yourself, right, they've got all the work to do now to catch us. Yes, if we slip up, it's painful, but it's we've top 7. Listen, cheers, buddy. Top 7 finish is no mean feat for a club that 2 years ago was relegation fodder. That a year ago, with a smaller squad or smallish squad, finished 6th, and we're still fighting for top 4 until the last 2 weeks of the season. Let's not forget that. And here we are. And let's look at it. It's only a point, so they really only go 9 points clear with 6 games to go. Again, it's not an unheard of feat that we can't close that back. So,
Gatesy, do you want to quickly get our fixtures up? Don't worry about anyone else, and we'll just do like a rough estimate, really, what realistically you think we'll get. I don't know if you want to quickly get that up.
We can realistically, theoretically, we can still finish 4th.
It's mad, isn't it?
That's still not out of the realm. So the fact that 6 weeks from the end of the season,
realistically,
no, listen, doesn't matter what I think. I'm just saying, looking at that table, we are still in a race for the top 4 with 6 weeks to go in it, or 6 games to go in us. Whereas last season we were still in the race with 3 games to go. And you're telling me that David Moyes ain't good enough? Like, jog on, just jog the fuck on.
Fair enough. What, do you want to do a little predictor thing?
Go on.
You can do, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so our next game this is just for the Premier League. I'm not going to include
I'm going.
the game. What?
To the Burnley game.
Yes, you are.
Woo!
Cap. West Ham Burnley. Milesy, you first?
I think their result yesterday will. I think they're going to look after them beating Everton. I thought they're going to go on that run, and I thought they'll turn Norwich over. And I just think they're away from home. They're dreadful as well at Turf Moor. I fancy them. I think either result we get on Thursday, we'll want to bounce back. So I think we'll comfortably win. I think next Sunday.
So you're going home win, 3 points. Duke?
Yeah, 3 points.
Done. We move on. Duke, you can go first on this one. Chelsea, West Ham.
Take the big L.
Yeah, I think realistically. Go on. Milesy?
I actually think we're going to get a draw.
Oh,
I actually do. I'm going as well. I think we'll get the draw. I think I don't know. We seem to be getting quite good at playing at Stamford Bridge. A couple of times we've got a draw. I remember Hernandez getting that goal. Obviously, Creswell getting the winner, and there's a bit of uncertainty still. And I think that we can play in that hands. Obviously, when we had the issue with the owners. But they're still uncertain, aren't they? So I think we can play in the hands.
Okay. Budgie says you're getting all dominant.
Won't lie, I got a bit of a stirring, but carry on.
He's so masterful.
Talk
to me about West Ham Arsenal, Milesy.
This is make or break for 5th.
Yeah.
If we beat Arsenal, it's on. It's on. Be a tough game. Whenever we play Arsenal, we always play well and don't win. So I think we need to play shit and win.
You'd take that all day long against them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think we'll play shit. I actually think we'll get the result. I really do. I think we'll play shit and win. And this is not my West Ham hat on. I actually do think we're going to get a result.
What about yourself, Duke?
I think we're going to win it. I think we can beat Arsenal. I think it's at the London Stadium. I think that we'll be rocking. It's R4 kickoff. As long as the trains don't dick around and stop people from getting to the game, then that we'll have that. But like Mosey said, that's make or break. So we'll have the stadium rocking for that game, and I can't see any reason why we can't pick up 3 points.
Okay. Away at Norwich, Duke.
Yeah, move on. I mean, don't get me wrong. They got their victory yesterday.
Elliot won't be happy with you.
I don't know. Sorry, Elliot, but I just don't. We've got too much there. And
but if we win in Europa League, that game will be moved to a Sunday. So we were playing Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I never thought about that because I've actually got a ticket for that.
What, Norwich? Yeah, I thought
very
of that.
luckily.
Because obviously the Arsenal one won't get moved because it's already on the Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
just a thought for that as well.
Fair enough. Okay, we move on. West Ham, Man City. Mark Noble's last game at London Stadium. Who did we go first? It was Duke last time. So, Milesy, you go first.
If the title's wrapped up, I can see us getting a result, but it's hard to call.
Yeah.
If they're going for the title and they must win, it could be more of how many. You can't stop me. Even the best in the world can't stop Man City. But it's written in the stars for Mark Noble's last game. It's like the last game at Upton Park.
Thank you, Peter.
For us to get a result, I'm gonna go draw.
Going draw. Duke?
I'm going to make a couple of predictions for this game.
Go on.
There's going to be an emotional 16th minute substitution.
Oh, shut up.
Right.
No, he's not a pretentious wanker.
He won't be, but it's going to happen. There'll be an emotional 16th minute substitution. Declan Rice will come on, or he'll come on. Actually, he might come on in the 16th minute, one of the two. If the season's decided, it doesn't matter. But I think we can get a draw out of that game, to be honest with you. We're no chumps. We can. Good evening, Ian.
Okay. I hope you're keeping a track of the points, guys, because I'm not.
Yep.
Brighton away. Duke, your thoughts on this one?
Who's our friend? Do you remember our friend said we'd never get anything out of Brighton?
Oh, what was his bloody name?
Iron
the one
Man.
I banned.
Iron Man.
Yeah, the one at the toilet for the Avatar.
God love him.
And he was one that said we'd be facing a relegation battle after those 3 games, didn't he? Like I say, we're 6th, aren't we? With 6 games to go. Don't think we're getting a relegation battle somehow, but never mind.
God love him. Yeah, God bless him. I miss him in his bollocks.
Yeah, but your aim will improve.
Yeah, found that right. That's another win for me. So yeah, that's where I'm going with that.
We're going to get our first ever win against Brighton. I feel the same, Duke. Our first ever win in the Premier League, because we're going to need it to finish 5th.
Boom.
Hey, so how many points? So, Multi, what your prediction?
14 points.
So you've gone 14 points. Duke, what was yours?
I think I was in the same sort of boat. Yeah.
14 out of 18.
We're currently on 51, so that's 65 points if your predictions are correct.
Yep.
What did we get last season? Last season was about the same, wasn't it?
Yeah. Listen, right, but can I just clear something up? Right? Regardless of where we finish in the league, right? I'm going to spill some tears, Rob. That's what I'm going to spill. I'm going to spill some lily white tears now. Right? No. Yes.
My wife won't be happy with you then.
If we win the Europa League, Spurs don't qualify in 4th, do they?
No, they do.
Yeah.
You get 5 teams in Champions League.
I read something the other day that we could knock Spurs out of.
No, remember Liverpool. They done that to Everton when Liverpool won it, and they finished 5th. But they changed the rule because I think it was Seville. Seville finished 6th, and when they won Europa League, so Spain had 5 teams in the
that's bollocks. I don't like that.
It's only
Ruined it
because
for me now.
you
Fuck's
wanted
sake.
to have a little bit of fun at Spurs' expense,
Oh,
didn't
wait,
you?
listen, I never not
Listen,
want to have a little bit of fun.
I'd
at
have had to
Spurs.
put up with her having a right old moan about it.
And let's go back to the original problem here. You married her.
Listen,
But I still think
qualified
Spurs.
chef and I
I
can't
still
cook.
think Spurs crumble will be available in Tesco. Though. I still think they're going to crumble.
Do you reckon Arsenal are going to take?
Yeah, I reckon they do. I reckon they will.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Like, in all fairness.
Because the Arsenal-Tottenham game is the second from last game of the season. That's where they've purposely moved it.
Ooh. All
That could be
police
the
leave is
decider.
cancelled.
Yeah.
That could be the decider for the league, couldn't it? That fifth place. Ooh! That'd be fun. Hope they
Fair enough.
lose, bastards.
Tell you what, for a Monday, I've had quite a shit day at work, but you have really cheered me up, so thanks.
Oh,
I'll be
cheers,
honest with
mate.
you, it's been good to have you back, mate. It's been good to have your face
Yeah, it's been a
gracing
while.
the full.
This is my face ain't really been on YouTube for the last few weeks as well. Just like,
I mean, in
just
all
taking a
fairness, I
break.
can understand why, but
He's a bastard, isn't he?
no, I was just saying, it's good to see you over here, mate. To be honest with you, because that's it's been nice to have you back. I've missed you.
Well, you've got to come on. You've got to come on and do thingy. You've got to come on and do your 5 kits as well. I need to pencil you in to come and do that.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah,
let me know. Right, I think we've probably spoken
what do you mean,
about.
Walshy? Hold up.
Look at me, though. Look, I've had my hair cut both.
Not much grass on the wicket.
It's going grey. Granted, look, I've got the old.
Oh, I'm gone grey as well. I'm well grey now.
What do
Don't
you
worry
mean
about it.
going thin?
Hair's overrated.
I've got a big
Hair's
end. I
overrated.
get
Stop
that. But
complaining.
what do you mean thin,
Right.
you cheeky bastard?
Anything, Milesy, you want to say before we wrap it up? Anything you want to finish off with the Brentford game? Or have you got it all off your chest.
I've got it all off my chest, mate. It's another game, and I'm absolutely fucking buzzing for Thursday. Can't wait. I forgot about it. Now after I've done this, forgetting about it, I mean, we're all good. We're all good.
Duke? Yeah. Mate, my dance team are not going to love me on Tuesday. On Thursday, because they're here to play darts at about 8:30, and the volume in this pub is going to be through the roof, like it was Thursday just gone. As I said, I got told to calm down. I may have called the referee the big C on more than about 20 occasions.
Oh
no! What was Mike Dean doing there?
Mate, I thought so. And
Mike Dean.
And I am ready to go again. I listen. We're doing the video for that. Are we doing it tomorrow? Because you're obviously jumping on the train on Wednesday, aren't you? Bastard.
Yeah, apparently they have got Wi-Fi. I'm reliably informed. So
what, on the train? You're going to do it on the train?
No. With the accommodation when I get to Leon.
Mate,
Leon.
If you can, that'd be great. Budgie, you've just literally, just reminded me. For you, beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful, fantastic, amazing bunch of Hammers fans in the chat that grace us with your presence when we talk so much shit on a daily basis.
Well, I'm off work, Duke, all next week, so I'm going to go and come and do an evening down your pub.
1 Lee High Road. 1 Lee High Road. I'll tell you where to park, Budgie. Milesy. Budgie's coming.
I'm not parking. I'm going to be drinking.
You're going to be training it. Go on, boy.
Yeah.
So if anyone is free and wants to come down on Thursday, there she is. We got some nice new flowers out the front. It does look a bit better.
Get yourself a photograph updated.
And that middle picture, the middle window there at the top above Lewisham Tavern now has a dinosaur's face in it. But that's the one. Come on over. Come and say hello. We've got a fantastic kebab shop opposite us. So you can get your grub, get in the pub.
It is pretty decent.
The game with me. Come and I'll save us some tables. We'll be right in front.
I can't Thursday, but I'll come Monday next week to visit you.
Yeah, mate. Come on down.
We'll start about midday.
Sounds good.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, cool.
Happy days. Right.
It's a bit of a mission from near Oxford. Fair enough, Andy. If you leave now, start walking, you might make it for Thursday. Come on, let's go.
You can hitchhike. Like Jolly Boys Outing.
Yeah. I lost my dolphin.
I'm in a motel. They don't know I ain't got a car.
Oh dear. Right. I'll tell you what, because he's the guest, Duke. Duke, because he's come in as a guest. I'm
Oh,
gonna
it's
let him,
his.
I'm gonna
His.
let
Now
him.
he's back.
I'm gonna let him have it. Duke. See, Milesy, what are we?
We are fucking massive.
That'll do.
Bye-bye.
Come on, you irons.